Former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee has been opposed by some conservative groups as an economic populist, a stance that could win the vote of some more liberal voters. But he's also a staunch opponent of abortion and a big proponent of the sanctity of life, the kind of hot-button social issues that could sway voters across the political and economic spectrum who support the right to choose. In my interview earlier today, I asked Huckabee the bottom line question: would he try to make abortion illegal if he were elected president?
Well, what I would believe is that the sanctity of life is one of the cornerstone issues of our culture. It really does come to the very heart of what our founding fathers said: when all people are created equal, and they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, including the right to life, as well as liberty and the pursuit of happiness. The point of a human life amendment is not to criminalize, but is to say that we value, respect, and hold with deep sacred honor the intrinsic worth and value of every single human being. And we don't value some human beings as more valuable than others.
So are you saying you would not work to make abortion illegal? You would support laws being in place that allow women to choose abortions?
Oh, I think abortion, frankly, is something that, unless it's medically necessary to save the life of the mother, is an inappropriate solution to whatever the problem is. I don't favor abortion, and I think, in fact, that what it does, it cheapens human life. But it's not just abortion. It's really looking at life from a broader perspective than only abortion. I think sometimes the pro-life community is seen as anti-abortion, and that's really not a fair assessment. It's about being pro-life. It's about saying that that child who has a severe disability is still valuable as a child. It's saying that elderly person who may be in a form of dementia is still a valuable human being, and we treat them with dignity and with respect and with honor. That's what makes us unique as a civilization. We don't devalue someone else's human life at any stage of that human life. We treat it with respect because we see it as having intrinsic worth.
Would you work to overturn Roe versus Wade?
Yes, I would, because I think Roe versus Wade was a faulty court decision that made a real stretch, saying that life was not that to be protected. In fact, that a person, just because a life was inconvenient, could be terminated. I think that's one of the great injustices of the last century.
Governor, it seems that one of the challenges for your campaign is that there may be people on one side of the political spectrum who would support you on your economic platform, which we just talked about, but on your social program they won't. And on the other side, there are more conservative folks who may support your social agenda but don't like your economic program necessarily. Could you pull together enough people from both sides, especially based on the people who just on the abortion platform might say, no way, I'm not voting for him? Could you really make it to the White House?
You know, I think people don't vote for a person they have to agree with 100%. What they want to know is that the candidate agrees with himself. And one thing people have said to me is that, you know, I may not agree with you on everything, but at least you know where you stand, and you stand consistently there because you have some real convictions. That's what people look for in their president. Not a perfect president, not one they agree with 100%, but one who at least agrees with himself, who doesn't change with every focus group, with every opinion poll, with every newspaper headline. Leadership is about being a thermostat, setting the temperature, not a thermometer just reading what's the room temperature as it is.
Governor Huckabee, we just have a little bit of time left, but I have to also ask you, you've been climbing in the polls. A lot of people counted you out from the beginning, but there you are running number 2 in the Iowa caucuses on the Republican side. If you don't quite get the Republican nomination for president, would you accept the vice presidential slot? And I need a fairly quick answer here.
Well, everybody's asking that, but the truth is we're not going for the silver or the bronze. We're going for the gold, and until I don't get the center platform, I'm not even going to think about the what ifs. I'm shooting for the presidency, and I think we'll get there.
Many thanks to Mike Huckabee for joining us, getting up early in Seattle for that interview. Now I want to share